Hello, it's Blue Orange 22. Today I want to talk about mansplaining in the news. Specifically, this article here. You can see the headline: Men in Black writer Ed Solomon accused of mansplaining his own film. Um, Now, the reason why I want to talk about this article is because I think it kind of is an example of what MRAs mean when we say that society has a kind of hostility towards men right now, and people are being kind of like conditioned to think of men in a negative way. And mansplaining is kind of an example of that. When you think about what mansplaining means, it's telling someone that just because you're a man, you're automatically wrong. Um, so, what happens here, you can see he tweeted about it. He was in a restaurant and he got talking to these two women. He said, "At a cafe where I'm writing, the people next to me were disagreeing about the origins of Men in Black," which of course he wrote. "And I said, if you like, I could clear that one up for you." And one responded, "I'm sorry, we do not need an old white male's mansplanation." So I apologized, and that was that. And then below, "And by the way, it's not like that was the first thing that was said. We'd actually exchanged small talk about various things over the course of their meal and my work." So they knew he was a screenwriter, right? They knew that he was a writer if they were talking about his work before. But because he's a man, because he's male, automatically they reject him. Automatically they say he's wrong because it's a mansplanation. Kind of like, think about what that means. Because of how you were born, because you were born male, you're automatically wrong. And this is something that he wrote. It was literally his movie. He wrote Men in Black. I mean, think about how ridiculous that is. And think about if it was the other way around. If it was men telling a woman, "Oh, we don't need your female femsplanation or womansplanation. We don't need to hear your opinion because you're a woman." That would be considered very sexist. I mean, some people would call that hate speech. But because it's a man, it's something that a lot of people actually think now. "Oh, we don't want to hear your opinion because you're male, because you're a man, because that's a bad thing, because you're automatically wrong because you're male." It's kind of the way the media is kind of teaching people how to think. It's a mansplanation. Oh, it's not an opinion. It's a man's opinion. Therefore, it's wrong. It's bad. It's less good. And this is someone who actually wrote the movie he was talking about. I mean, he wrote Men in Black, and they were talking about Men in Black. But because he was a man, they automatically rejected what he was saying. I think that kind of shows how people are being given a very negative view of men in the media today. And people are kind of like conditioned in the States where if a man says something, it's not just a person giving their opinion, it's a male giving their opinion. And you're supposed to think that because it's a male, that it's a bad thing. That, oh, it could just be mansplaining. It could just be a mansplanation. When if you just imagine the reverse, okay, imagine someone saying, "Because you're a woman, you're wrong. Because you're a woman, I don't want to listen to you," is literally exactly what someone would say is sexism. That's what sexism is. It's telling someone, because of your gender, because of the gender you happen to have been born, you're wrong. I don't want to listen to you, and I don't want to hear your opinion. That is something that's happening to men right now. And it's not just that he is a random guy in the restaurant. He's the guy who wrote the script. So just imagine, like, people who think like that. People who think, "Oh, you're a man, I don't want to listen to you." Imagine if that attitude starts becoming prevalent in law enforcement, or in healthcare, or in the court system, or in politics. You have doctors or police officers or politicians who think that way. We shouldn't listen to men. If you're a man, you're automatically wrong. You know, it's something that can very quickly kind of lead to a very troubling situation in society where one half of society is automatically seen as wrong, even if they're very qualified, because he actually wrote the script. So it doesn't get any more qualified than the person who actually wrote it. And the women who said that, they knew he was a screenwriter because they had been talking before about how he was a screenwriter and some of his work. So, um, links to the article below. Read it and tell me what you think.